Alright, good morning guys. So you can see I've already taken some sell position on US30, which is the Dow Jones Industrial Average Index. And let me do a quick recap. So this is for educational purpose. Alright, I know TikTok has been taking down a lot of my videos, and I don't know why, but this is for educational purpose. So let's go to the weekly time frame on the US30. And those of you who don't know, the US30 is the average stock of about 30 companies in the United States. So it's more of a stock, but it's a collection of different stock prices that comprise of it. So it's like different stock prices, then you combine them all together to form one single stock, and it's about 30 different stock prices. That's what the US30 is. So now when we move to the weekly time frame, you can see that the US30 is at its highest level since, I don't know, it's like the highest level that it has ever reached, right? So in the weekly time frame, US30 is at its highest level. At this point, you can see that price has never broken above to form an actual candle. Look at the black line up here. You can see price has never been able to form an actual weekly candle above it. So from the weekly time frame, we can just guess that price is not going to go up. Come here, come to this left hand side here. You can see that the first time that price reached this level, it crashed all the way down here. So let's bring up one of our black lines here. It crashed all the way down here. Now price, after crashing to this level, moved all the way up to this level again. Right, so what do we call these levels? These extreme points. Let me explain this to you. The reason price crashed from the top to this level and then moved all the way up from this level to the upper level here, which we call resistance, is that the institution traders, they actually open huge positions. So when price reached this major resistance, the institution traders, which are the big boys, the banks and the other big boys, that's the hedge funds and those mutual funds, they open sell positions, and those are the ones you want to follow their trade. You don't want to follow other traders, you just want to follow the big boys. So they open sales position when price reached this point, and they opened buy position when price reached this support here. So these levels are what we call supply and demand. Okay, I don't trade supply and demand, but I'm a pure price action trader, so I just learn about all these things. So now let's move on again. So after price crashed all the way to this support level, it jumped all the way up to the major resistance again. And what happened? Price crashed again. So on the second time visiting this level, it crashed all the way down, and even way more than it did on the previous one. So this time around, it crashed all the way down here. Okay, and I guess what happened after price reached this level again, the big boys started to buy. So they bought all the way up to the level once more. But when you look at it carefully, you can see it came to visit it one here, then it crashed to this level. Okay, it crashed to this level, then it jumped all the way up to this level again. So now where these black lines are very important to us. We know that when price reach any of these level, it's going to show reaction, and the big boys are there to take trade. That's what we have on the weekly time frame. Now let's go to the daily time frame. When you move to the daily time frame, you can see I have drawn my resistance level here. But then see something here. You can see that price was in a downtrend from the major resistance level. It crashed all the way down here until it formed what we call double bottom. This is a double bottom, and usually double bottom and double tops are for reversals. So it means price is now going to reverse from the downtrend into an uptrend, and it did. It actually reversed. You can see now we had an uptrend here, and within this uptrend we had a consolidation here, which also happened within these two levels. Okay, and then price broke above it, came all the way up to the major resistance once again. And now look at the beauty of trading. You just look at the beauty here. Once price came to this major resistance, it formed candlestick pattern. Okay, candlestick patterns are crucial to your trading. They are very important. And what pattern can we see here? We can see what we call head and shoulder. Head and shoulder. So this is the left head, the left shoulder, sorry, the head and the right shoulder. And within this head and shoulder, if you don't want to accept it as a head and shoulder just because of the wick up here, you can still accept this as a double top. Okay, for some people this may not be a head and shoulder to them because of this wick. This wick actually broke above the resistance level, and they actually higher than this head here. So some of them will not accept it as a head and shoulder, but for me, I do accept it as a head and shoulder because of the body. I consider the body closes, not just the weights. Okay, so if you do not accept this as a head and shoulder, you can still accept it as a double tap because of this and then this. And now we know at the daily time frame that price is also interested in you know what, dropping, because these candlestick patterns, they are usually for reversal, and it shows that we are going to change trend direction. So the current trend direction is bullish, and if you are going to change trend direction, then it's definitely going to be bearish. Okay, so now let's move on to the 4-hour time frame. So now when we come to the 4-hour time frame, you can see the current time is 5:47 a.m. Ghana time, and it's Wednesday, August 20th. So when we come to the 4-hour time frame, you can see something important here. You can see I've drawn some levels here. These levels are very important to me. They help me understand the market very well. So you can see from the 4-hour time frame, we are actually bullish. Price, from a double bottom here, jumped all the way up to this level, retraced a little bit, moved all the way up to liquidate all traders. These were meant for swing traders, those traders that had positions here, and then they set a stop loss here. Price came to liquidate them, came to work them out. Then after it rigged them out, it crashed, but it couldn't break below this level, meaning we are still bullish. Then it jumped here, deceiving a lot of traders to take buys, but then it faked them out and crashed, right? And now we are still within this level, this zone that I've drawn here. Sorry for the background noise. This is what happens when you live close to the roadside. So within, where was that? So at this level here, which is the another minor support level, you can call it minor, but if you're using if you're a day trader, this level is not actually a minor. It can be a major to you, but to me right now it's a minor, because this trade I'm actually holding it. I can hold this trade for about 2 to 3 days. Okay, so now at this level you can see we haven't broken it yet, but I'm expecting it to be broken maybe today or tomorrow because of this break here. But when you look at the price here, you can see price hasn't been able to break above this swing high. Okay, so this is a signal that we are about to form a downtrend, and we want a candlestick pattern. If you want a candlestick pattern, maybe for me, I don't need a candlestick pattern at this point, but if you want a candlestick pattern to clarify this to you, you can actually see the candlestick pattern here, which is head and shoulder. This is the left shoulder, this is the head, and this is the right shoulder. This confirms to you that there is going to be a reversal. Alright, so this is the reason I took the sell on the Dow Jones, which is the US30. Based on this top-down analysis, you can actually clarify it yourself. Now let's move on to the 1-hour time frame. Now when it comes to the 1-hour time frame, you can see everything in more detail. You can see that price was in an uptrend until it reached this level. It started to consolidate, then boom, break off this level structure right here. So at this point, right, the moment this bearish candlestick were formed, I was interested in taking a sell, because you can see that we are currently in a bearish market here on a 1-hour time frame. Level has been broken, we are bearish. So I moved to the 15-minute time frame, and boom, I took my sell right after this candle closure. And one thing that's very important to you is to know where your stop loss is going to be. So taking the position is crucial. Knowing where to enter the position is very important. but knowing when to set your stop loss is way better, right? Do you know what is more important than having, let's say, not just more important, something that's way better than having $1 million. If you have $1 million, you can possibly have 10 million or 100 million. So knowing when to take a trade is like having $1 million, but knowing when to set your stop loss is like having 10 to $100 million. Okay, so in this industry, just a single mistake can cost you a lot of money. So you shouldn't be focused on where to take a position. So you can take the trade anywhere, right? I can actually wait for price to retrace, then I take the trade here, or I can wait for price to come in, then take my position. But as long as I have my stop loss at the right place, I'm good to go. So I move to the 1 hour time frame, search where I can possibly set my stop loss, and I realize that my stop loss is supposed to be here. This is the previous swing line. Okay, so I could have waited a little bit, but I said nah, let me take it, but let me bring my stop loss a little bit here. So this is where my stop loss is, and it's a great place to set your stop loss, right? It gives me a lot of room to allow price to swim in. So I have big room of error. Price can come all the way up here, then crash. So I have big room of error. So this is why I took the sell, and those of you who are interested, you can also take the sell as well. But this is for educational purpose. Okay, I don't want it to be taken down by TikTok once again. I have a lot of videos taken down.